Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, and with me, like always, is the man who's secretly happy that Kingdom Hearts isn't coming out this year, Noah Bailey.
More like no, no,
I
I
just
can't even. There's
total
no
lie.
way I can play that off with a straight face. I can't. No, I'm not crying about it, but you know what? At least it's coming. We got something.
At least it's coming. If you're new to this program, this is the podcast where Noah and I go over all the nerdy stuff from the past week. And since we haven't really had a chance to go over Deadpool 2 with all the E3 stuff going on, I felt now is as good a time as any to do our Deadpool 2 review. So, Noah, just generally, what did you think about this movie?
This was a very good movie. I like it. I like it. I mean, it's fully Deadpool. It's everything you expect. The jokes are really funny. There's plenty of action
Oh,
and
yeah.
some very brutal stuff, which is, classic Deadpool.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean, it's great. New characters are very well appreciated. The old ones make good comebacks, better cameos, much
mm,
funnier. Like the inside jokes, fourth wall jokes are just
yes.
very nicely played. Like it's a very quality piece. I
Mm,
like it.
yeah, like one thing that I really liked the first Deadpool movie, but one thing that I felt was kind of lacking were the fourth wall jokes. Like they were there, but
Mhm.
like the majority of the jokes were more like grossed out humor and just like other kinds of humor. Where Deadpool was more, his humor comes more from the fourth wall break. So like that being more so the focus of the jokes in Deadpool 2 was
Mhm.
really exciting to me personally. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and this will be spoiler filled, by the way. It's been a couple weeks
Yeah.
anyway, so like
It's fine,
yeah, that's
but
fine.
just
Yeah,
saying.
just in case you are here and haven't seen the movie yet. Yeah. So the exactly where to go first. I guess like it's not exactly a an uncommon trope, but I found it like really funny that even though killing the main character's girlfriend isn't an uncommon trope, they still like worked it into the like opening credits as if it was like a big
Hmm.
deal.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of disappointed that happened. I was like, oh, I like their
Mm.
little relationship. I was like, oh, they just got back together and now, oh, she gets wasted. I was like, oh, but
Deadpool fixed the timeline, so it's
that is
if
true.
that's
But
canon, which
yeah, that
we don't
is,
know.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's just like, oh, that like right off the bat, kind of like, oh, dude, like I didn't, because like I know like it's not like a depressing move or anything. I was like, oh man,
Mm.
Deadpool's not going to be in like the best mood, kind of, I guess, to
Yeah.
start off.
Mm.
But I mean, it happened. It is what it is. But
Yeah, and
eh,
like and I I do kind of wish that Deadpool had pointed out the fact that she was going to die because like she was clearly going to die. She was about to have a baby. It was their
mm-hmm,
anniversary.
mm-hmm,
Um, um, they hadn't seen each other in a while. Like just all of those together, like anyone who even like thought for a, who was paying attention even a little bit could decipher, hey, she's probably gonna die. Like I kind
yeah,
of wish Deadpool had like looked at the camera and been like, why do I have a bad feeling about this, or something like that. Like I
yeah.
feel
It's like
like Deadpool's character should have caught on to that.
yeah, it's like too many good things are going on. Something's wrong. Like like
Yeah,
something.
like oh well,
Yeah,
like I'm sure it won't affect me or something like that.
yeah, it'll be fine. It's like yeah, it probably isn't about me anyway. It's like ooh, gets all stay. Yeah, and I mean it does. I mean it's not like a huge loss because I mean she's still kind of in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I was just kind of like, oh well, guess we move on. But I mean,
Yeah,
how she died was kind of dumb. I think. I mean, not dumb, but like it's just kind of like
it wasn't
okay, like
as grand as you guess it would be. I don't know. Yeah,
yeah,
like it was his fault, I guess, since he didn't deal with the villain in the way he probably should have. He was like super like his cockiness essentially caused her to die, but
I mean,
yeah, they could have done it up a little better, I guess.
yeah. I mean, like you didn't like look at this like Deadpool. This is all your fault. It was kind of. Like, I mean, they got the jump on him at his house and
Mm.
everything, and like like Like, how is he supposed to know there's a one up? Like, he missed
Yeah.
all those powers. He did miss one eye and he couldn't
Mm,
save her. But, like, I mean,
oh,
I don't know.
oh well.
It moved. I mean, it moved on. I just love how, like, at the end, he just kind of casually throws the guy into a moving bus. And just like, I was just like, oh. Like, at first, I was like, oh my God, he's like so mad. He's like smiling. I was like, wow, that's intense. So he's gonna like destroy this guy. He just,
Yeah.
yeah,
First, when he went in for the hug, I'm like, is he like faking him out? He's gonna like choke him to death or something? No,
yeah.
no. Throw him in front of a bus. That's how you do
I
it.
mean, that's how I would deal with that probably. Throw him in front of a bus.
I
But
didn't
yeah.
kill him. The bus did.
Yeah, like I was just trying to help him cross the street. I mean, I don't know. Oh man.
Just give him a hug saying goodbye.
You got to make sure he knows the way. But yeah, so not the best way to start out. Not a bad start, but it was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess this is gonna be kind of like building off of that the rest of the movie.
But
Which is fine.
I did really like the beginning montage of him just killing a bunch of
Oh
people.
yeah, yeah, that was great. I was like, oh, like right into the action.
Mm.
It's kind of. Did you kind of get like Dark Knight vibes when he's kind of like in what was he in Japan or something,
Yeah.
and just kind of like busts through the window? I'm like, that kind
Mm.
of reminded me of the Dark Knight scene where he just kind of grabs the dude and it's from Hong Kong just like it takes. I was just
Mm.
like, oh, that was kind of what I got. I don't know if that was a reference or that was just a coincidence, but
I mean, it's probably a coincidence, but still, I wouldn't put it past this movie to poke fun at especially DC movies because they did that
yeah,
quite a few times throughout this movie, which
yes, they
we're not going to
did.
complain about.
Nope. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And it kind of has like the Kill Bill vibe, just kind of cuts up people in all
All on
sorts of ways.
heels for some reason.
Yeah, he got heads cutting off, and then he just like that one scene when he gets back in America. Like, yeah, that guy's actually on fire. That's not CG, folks.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, that's
Yeah, it's like
intense.
those kind of jokes is what I came here for.
Yeah, I was like, that was good because that was like, dude, he's on fire. That's crazy. Like, oh yeah, but yeah, that was like that good. That was a really good. It got you. It was like, okay, yeah, you're in the right movie.
Yeah, and all the action in this movie I felt was done better than the first one in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
the first one didn't have too many action sequences. The ones that were, they were pretty good. This one I felt stepped it up even more.
yeah, and like some of them in the first one did feel a little cheesy, especially
Mm,
like the 12 bullet, the counting one was kind of just
right.
like, okay, yeah, but like this one, it was kind of just like up in your face. Here we go, like
Yeah.
brutal, and we love it.
Mm.
Oh my
So
god.
I just want to get straight to the X Force stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I felt it was hilarious how the trailers, most of the trailers focused hard on this team, the X Force.
Hmm. Right.
Like they didn't show a whole lot of X Force scenes in the trailers, making people think, oh, they're saving a lot of the action stuff, or maybe
Hmm.
some hidden characters, or maybe some actions they just don't want to show in the trailers yet. And then everyone dies.
Dies and like so brutally. Like there's one way to die, but I mean one dude literally. I mean Terry Crews gets literally hit by a bus. Other dude chopped up by a helicopter. Dude falls in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
The Vanisher, who for the I legit was like the Vanisher is not real. It's
It's
just
just
a
a
parachute.
backpack. Like
And then Brad
I
Pitt
thought
just gets
Deadpool
like
threw the backpack off the ship or
yeah.
off the
And I was
aircraft.
like, and the thing that gave it away for me that I didn't realize
Mm.
was that the parachute wasn't open when he first threw it out. So that's how you knew
Oh.
it was a person. And
Mm.
at first I was like, wait, how'd the parachute go out? And I was like, oh my god, it's a real guy. Like,
Brad Pitt.
yeah, Brad Pitt gets elected. Fun fact: Brad Pitt got paid. I think it was like $945 for that, for like that 1 second of
945.
screen time,
945.
something like that. Yeah,
Wow.
my
I
friend
mean,
looked
he
it
was
up.
only on it for like 2 seconds, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's pretty good for literally not even like
barely a cameo.
5 seconds on screen. Like you don't have no lines, just show
I mean,
up.
I wish
Okay,
I
you're
had
good, Brad.
$145.
You could go. Yeah, I mean, like that's chump change in movie world, especially for Brad Pitt. But like, still, like he didn't even like he could have been shooting another movie, just come over for a second,
Which,
and just
now that you
yeah.
say that, we'll get back to the X Force stuff in just a second. But like, one of my favorite jokes in the whole movie was Deadpool was again going around the X Manor and was like, why are there never any more X-Men here? Like, you would think for the sequel they would throw us a bone, and then Beast just closes the door behind him.
And then it had all the original people in there just chill. I was like, no, come back. This would be such a good. Oh my god, that was so good.
Yeah, like apparently they only were able to do that because the Dark Phoenix movie was being shot at the same time, which completely screws up the timeline because apparently in the Deadpool universe, the Dark Phoenix timeline and the Deadpool timeline exist at the same time. But let's not think about timeline with the X-Men universe because that's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's just pretty much broken at this point. But
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was like legitimately one of the moments I laughed the hardest at.
Because it was so unexpected. I was like, they're not going to show anybody. And I'm like, oh my god, like, they're all right there. Just casually close the door. Like, no. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that was like the X-Force. It was just funny how spectacularly all of them but one just one after another just died. Like, and I mean like bad death. Like, I mean, chopped to pieces multiple ways.
Like, it wasn't even heroic death. Like, it wasn't, they went into battle and on their first mission they all just got wasted. No, they all died before they even got there.
Like, they didn't even make it to the ground and just like died. Oh my god. Because it was funny because like when I forget the bar owner, the guy's name.
Peter?
He was big. Yeah. No, not Peter, but who was the guy that actually owns the bar with the glasses and everything? What's his name?
Oh, TJ Miller's character.
Yeah, basically. Like, I don't know his actual name. But like, you know, when Cable's like torturing him, he's like, I don't have one thing to say, like, there's a wind advisory. Like, you know, you didn't think about it, but then it actually like, there's like, it actually ends up being the thing that kills most of them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. And then of course Domino lands perfectly in the truck. She's like, he's like, what do you mean you're in? He's like, what? Like, where's the rest of the team? Oh yeah, they're all died. Only the main ones. We got the main team, the minor parasite. Everyone else is dead. He's like, yeah.
And like, I was so excited to see Terry Crews be a superhero for the first time. Too. And like, he went on multiple talk shows hyping up this movie. Like, he was in for maybe 3 minutes.
I know. He had like maybe 5 lines and then just gets hit by a truck or bus, and that's the end.
He was also very excited to be a superhero, but like, and he was just fine with dying.
I mean, I guess it's better than nothing, but like,
yes.
Gosh, that's rough, dude. He just didn't even get to do anything. He just jumped out of a plane and
he looked cool doing it until he died.
He did look cool doing it. Yeah, I mean, the death part was always like the least awesome part, but yeah.
I kind of feel his death was the least dramatic of them all. Honestly, I kind of was expecting him to just get right back up and then something else happened to him.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah, because like, I don't know.
That was it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I know like getting hit by a bus usually means death, but then it is Terry Crews. He's kind of big, so I was like, maybe he's fine. Maybe no, he's dead. Okay. And then moving on.
And I find it really funny that in the after credits scene when he's fixing the timeline and whatnot, he only saves Peter and no one else. Like, he doesn't go back to the point where they're on the ship and be like, you know what, let's not do this. He specifically tells Peter,
it's like, go home.
Everyone else died. No, just you. Just don't worry about it. Just go. Just leave.
Go. Just leave. Just go home. You're done. You're fine. I think Peter deserved better.
Yeah.
Not to get acid throw up on him. That kind of. But rest in peace.
Yeah. So one thing I heard one reviewer mention was that this movie was kind of interesting because there wasn't really a villain of this movie. Cable, he wasn't a villain. He was just kind of doing what he felt was right, and he even ended up helping in the end. The kid wasn't the villain. Even spoilers, Juggernaut wasn't really the villain because he has been in captivity for however long, and he's just helping this kid do what's right. So like, everyone was kind of doing, even Deadpool to extent was everyone was kind of doing awful things, but everyone had more or less good motives,
behind doing it. Yeah.
So like, there wasn't really a villain outside of that one scientist dude and the what's that place called?
Orphanage or whatever.
Yeah, orphanage. So that's really
Yeah.
interesting. I feel.
Yeah, like yeah, and I mean he was kind yeah, I mean that was kind of I mean it was a good like why the kid like was like eventually became bad and stuff. But I mean it was kind of for me it was kind of just like okay, so if the kid becomes evil because he kills this dude,
Hmm.
why don't you just kill him first?
Yeah,
That's the kind of thing I was kind of thinking at the very beginning. Because I mean he shot the other dude like at like 10 minutes into the movie. Why don't you shoot the other guy?
I guess it's just the idea that getting revenge on this guy, period, would end up causing him to go evil. Maybe like just allowing this kid to get revenge in any way would spark it.
Yeah.
Although that also kind of doesn't really make sense because in the end the taxi driver ran him over. So
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, he's
who
still guy.
knows?
I mean,
You
like
need
they
to have
still
a
end
plot,
up.
so like
Yeah, I know.
it was necessary for no one else to kill him. But like I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, all right, like it's kind of like, okay, the only way this happens is if this person gets killed by this person. I'm like, okay, so if we like, I mean, like Deadpool, we've killed all these people. If we kill like this guy, he can't kill them, and then he doesn't become, evil emperor or whatever in the future. Like logic, but then again, that's an hour of the movie, so
Yeah.
at least. So
Mhm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just something I thought about, especially the second time through, because I'm like, okay, well he dies anyway, so like, what's the point? But
In order to
I
have a
digress.
movie, you gotta suspend.
Yeah,
Like
I
why?
mean, you gotta have
Like
a
why
movie.
doesn't Superman just laser vision everyone he meets? Like that's something he could just do to win. But in order to have a story, you gotta
Yeah,
you gotta expand it a little bit. You
yeah.
gotta
I mean, you
extend
can't
your
lobotomize.
disbelief a little bit.
Yeah, you can't lobotomize everybody. It's kind of messed up, but
Yeah.
eh, every
But
now and then.
I did really like Cable in this movie. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin he's on a roll right now.
Yeah, I
He's
was about
going
to say
from
he's
movie
two
to
for
movie,
two.
just being the perfect character for whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And just his action, his voice, like clearly they were prioritizing the actor because he's clearly not 6'8" like he's supposed to be in the comic, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Like especially that first action scene with him and Deadpool in the prison, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was good.
I got that. And I gotta say that gun thing was like how like my neck like connected. That was so cool the first time I saw it. He was like, I was like, he means business. Like this guy is not playing around. Yeah, that was a really good fight, especially when Deadpool finally got his powers back. That's when it got really good. I was like, okay, it's about to go down.
Right.
That was a good scene. That was a good, yeah. And like the one character in this movie that I wasn't really feeling was honestly the kid.
It's kind of the same, yeah. He talked a bit too much.
Yeah, it was kind of like I'm not saying like it is about like the movie is basically about him because it's more him than a Deadpool movie, really. But it's still just kind of like, all right, kid, like come on, chill, like some of the stuff he did was funny, like the whole prison wallet thing was funny. But like some of the other stuff was just kind of like, all right, like come on, let's do, yeah, like the whole
Just
like
shut up,
trying to
please.
fight,
Like,
yeah, like the whole first rule of prison, beat up the biggest guy you see, and I'm like, dude, you're like 14. Like,
yeah,
come on,
you're not
dude.
old enough
Like,
to watch this movie you're in. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. I heard that was so messed up, but yeah, like it was just like, dude, like, come on, just stand down, man, stand down, like, chill. But I mean, it still works because he's a kid, so it makes sense.
Probably my favorite character in this whole movie was Domino. Just
Yeah,
the way she carried herself, just the way she was more or less a straight man to Deadpool's just wackiness. Her action sequence in the hospital orphanage place was really cool.
ooh, brutal.
Just like it was legit, like her entire battle, just one big Rube Goldberg machine, just things falling down around her and killing people just because.
Oh my gosh. Oh, at the end where the guy's laying on the bed and the other bed flies and I was like,
like
oh, like I think I just yelled brutal like in the theater, and everybody was just like, "Yeah." Like, because I was thinking, I was like, that guy didn't get like all the other guys died. Like that guy only got beat up a little. He should get a little. Oh my god. Okay, he's dead. Like, but no, I do like how I like the banter they had at the beginning. It's like luck's not a superpower. Yes, it is. Let's meet in the middle and say no, it is. Like they just like, oh my
like, how
god.
did you survive? I'm lucky. What can I say?
Oh, okay. It's like, what? Yeah, it's great because everybody's dying. She like lands on a bouncy castle or something. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna need a bus to get rid of you guys. Bus magically appears perfectly. It's just like, seems about right, you know?
And honestly, I feel I feel that having Juggernaut in this movie just kind of completed it. Like it would have been great regardless of him, but like just having this redeeming this character that was completely just wasted in in X-Men 3 and doing him right. I feel you didn't necessarily need a big CG fight scene at the end of this movie, but if you can have it, go for it. So
yeah, I mean,
and Juggernaut versus Colossus is a pretty common trend to have in X-Men comics. So why not just if you can, why not just go for it?
Yeah, and you actually see, and one thing like you saw was like you saw the other X-Men like Negasonic Teenage Warhead and what is it, Yokira? What is it?
Yokio, I think.
Yokio, yeah. You saw like you saw the three of them actually working together, like X-Men should. You're like, okay, that makes sense. They're used to working together.
Yeah, I kind of wish that Negasonic Teenage Warhead did a little more, but like, it was fine.
Yeah, they were trying to show off the new one too. So like, I loved how his scene was like, "Hi, Wade, hey, Yokio," like the whole time. I don't know what. That was so funny every single time.
It was just so cute.
Oh my god! It was like you can't even be mad. I was like, oh my god. Like, hey, hi, Yokio.
Oh, probably the thing I laughed the hardest at in this movie was once the kids started setting the orphanage on fire, it started playing the Juggernaut theme. That was just so overly dramatic, yet the lyrics were like were so vulgar, so full of jokes, and like so like it matched this movie perfectly.
Yeah.
And they played it again during the end credits, and like
I know it was just funny because at first I didn't notice it.
Yeah,
and my friend's like, "Dude, listen." I was like,
"The same." My brother pointed it out to me. Yeah,
that was really. It's just those nice little touches they can do because hey, we have an R rating and we're using it like like every bit of it, every way we can. That was so. Oh, that was so
like
good.
It would have been funny enough just to have that super dramatic music in the background, but like. Incorporating in that the Juggernaut theme or whatever, like, just made it all the more perfect.
Yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, that's so fun. It's just such a funny scene, dude. And like, oh man, the ones and like the like in the end, like the Deadpool like dying scene, that part was like kind of funny.
I felt it lasted a bit too long, but like, it was funny.
Yeah, like the first like 2 times was kind of funny. Like the funniest part was when he tells Colossus to say the F word, and he's like, "I enjoy running in hell." Like that.
Yeah,
that was probably the funniest joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it did kind of last a little too long because I was like, okay, is he actually gonna die or what? Because like he said at the beginning he's gonna die, because like the whole Logan thing, but like
which was pretty funny.
That was he just has it spinning around. Oh my gosh, that was funny. But no, I was like, okay, like, come on, die. Like, he eventually does die, I guess, but it was kind of like, it almost felt like he just wasn't gonna die. Like, he just like, okay.
I mean, he ends up not dying, like, so.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter, but it was like, yeah. But I mean, it was too long, but they tried to sneak out every joke they could,
Which, kind of going off that. I legitimately believe this movie has one of the best soundtracks in any movie. Like, let me just go over some of the songs that were played in this movie. Bangarang, played multiple times. Well, the Celine Dion song made for the movie Ashes. It felt
Hmm.
was like perfect.
That
It was
was a good one.
like a James Bondy style
Yeah,
theme.
that was a really good, especially the beginning.
Mm. Take on Me played two different ways. If I could turn back time, which was just
Mhm.
perfect. Nine to
Literally.
five, all out of love. We belong. Just these are some of my favorite songs of all time. Just for every single one of these songs was played in the perfect moment for that song to be
Mhm.
played, and just it was good.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack's incredibly fitting at every moment, and just
Yeah.
like it real like and like that's important for this kind of movie because it's
Mm,
like these self-aware kind of movies. The soundtrack has to really work because it's like it almost feels like you're cheating the movie if it doesn't.
mm-hmm.
So that's a really good job by them, really putting the details with the soundtrack. So I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah. Like I kind of feel that's something that both Guardian movies could have done a little better. Like they had great soundtracks, especially
Hmm.
the first one,
Oh
but
yeah,
their implementation wasn't quite as spot on as I feel it could have been. Like certain songs I felt could have been played like in places of others, and like there were sometimes songs were just played for the sake of having a song, whereas here
right.
these songs were played like when like if I could turn back time, it was playing while Deadpool was resetting the timeline. We Belong was played during like all the entire team was walking away from the climax, just in the slow motion. Like that's how you do that song right. Bangarang.
Yeah.
Like Cable was like, um uh crap. I cannot think of the genre of that music right now. Hang on. Uh wow, I'm blanking hard. What is the genre of that music?
Oh gosh. Wait, which one?
Bangarang.
Banger.
Dubstep.
Oh god.
Yeah, dubstep.
Yeah.
Like dubstep is stupid. And start just
And it's
playing that
funny.
song.
Yeah, because he said it before, like, is dubstep still a thing? Like, like, oh my god. Yeah. Which Sharknado are we on? That is a solid question because it's
Yeah,
like that is kind
I
of a
think we're
way
on
you
like
could tell
five
what
right
year you.
now.
Yeah. Are there really five
I think there are
Sharknadoes?
five.
Oh my, hold on, I gotta figure this out. Is this really? Because I couldn't believe there was more than one.
Yeah, but
Like the second thing that comes up. How many shark? Oh my god, there's a sixth one coming out this year.
not surprising. Really not
It's,
that surprising.
yeah. Apparently, it's gonna be the last one, but like, there's six Sharknado 2013, 24. There's been one every single year since 2013.
Yep.
Why? Why does? Oh my,
Because they're low budget movies that make a lot of money because people watch them ironically.
that is true. Because I mean, the first one was like, wow. Like me and my brother were like, okay, we gotta check this out. And I mean, that was bad.
Like it's one of those things that they made knowing it was bad, but they made it
Mhm.
anyway because they were kind of hoping it would have that like Room Birdemic style like cult following of so bad it's good, and it kind of
Mhm.
is. But then
Yeah.
they just kind of kept making more, and they just kept being somehow worse, and they kind of lost their charm.
I don't know. I mean, it's apparently. I mean, if you make six of anything, it can't. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to do. So
I mean,
like,
essentially, probably what was happening is the previous Sharknado was making enough money for to make the next one. So they had
right,
no reason not to, I guess,
right,
since they are so low budget.
right. And we're making a profit, even if the movie does stink.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
well, God, Sharknado. And yet it took years to get a Young Justice season three, but we can
yep,
get six Sharknados. Why?
yeah. We got six Sharknados between the time of season 2 and 3 of Young
That's what
Justice.
I'm saying, But
That's beyond stupid, but it happened. Oh
you
well.
know, what at least it's coming.
Yeah,
That's
at
it's
least.
fine. It's fine. But anyway, back to Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, really good movie. I gotta say though, there was I don't want to say like not I don't know, like the action scene's really good, but at the
Mhm.
same time, some parts of it, I don't know, just felt kind of like I don't know, maybe I'm just getting more numb to like the action of Deadpool because it is the second movie,
Mm,
and you're kind of expecting like everyone's like head to fall off and arms
yeah.
ripped off and crap and like stuff. But it didn't seem as like the beginning seemed really brutal, and
Mm,
like towards the end it kind of did. But like in the middle, I guess because most of the people were super powered anyway, it didn't seem very like really like Deadpool action scene. It kind of just seemed like fight scenes kind of thrown
I can
together.
see it.
But
Yeah, yeah. Especially since Deadpool wasn't really the main focus of a lot of the action. It was
right.
Domino and a couple other like Cable and Juggernaut and whatnot. But
Hmm.
yeah, like I do kind of feel Deadpool himself wasn't really focused on as much as he maybe should have in this movie. And like
Yeah.
I get it, the major like this movie was made to of course to have a second Deadpool movie, but also to set up the X Force universe.
Right.
So you kind of needed to focus on a couple other characters in order to have the X Force movie be successful, which I think Deadpool was actually going to be a part of. So,
Hmm.
um, I do kind of wish Deadpool was more involved in a lot of this story, but like for what it was, for I really did like every single character they did focus on outside of him. But you're there to see Deadpool, so like, yeah, I do see what you're saying.
We want to see a little more of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But one scene that did have Deadpool, my favorite scene in the whole movie
Mm.
is the scene right after he gets ripped in half and he's back at the house
Oh,
with the
right.
baby. I don't know why, but the term shirt cocking is probably the funniest term I've ever heard in my entire. It was so like it was like I've never heard anything like that. But as soon as he said, I knew like it was just like I can't call it anything else ever
Yeah,
again.
like you could. Yeah, you
Just like
instantly know what he's talking about.
oh my god, it's just like little, like because little, it builds off something that went well in the last movie, which
Mm,
instead of his hand, it's always like the whole lower half of his body,
yeah,
and it's hilarious because you've got this grown Ryan Reynolds looking man on these like clearly like 8-year-old legs at best,
yeah.
like just
That's
like oh my god, like it's just like. Oh my god! It was just funny because everyone walks in with the same reaction, and then
mm,
Domino's just like, "Oh no, actually, it's just your face," and you kind of forget. Oh yeah,
yeah,
she hasn't seen you without your mask before. I kind of forgot. I was like, "Oh, that is right," because like you know how
yeah.
it looks kind of crazy too. Oh my god, that whole scene. I mean, because like everyone's trying to take it, like you can't take that seriously at all. It's just like I
Mm,
don't even know what to. Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah, that's just that was my favorite scene probably in the
mm,
whole movie.
yeah. Fair enough. So overall, what would you rate this movie from scale 1 to 10 using a decimal system?
1 to 10, I'd say I'm gonna go 8.3.
8.3. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
8.3.
pretty solid. I'd
Not
probably say
yeah.
like I don't know 8.6, eight point
Okay.
seven maybe at the
Okay.
highest. Like it,
Yeah.
I really liked it. There were a couple of problems, with the girlfriend dying and not super.
Hmm.
It could have been done better. There were a couple of slow moments here and there. Deadpool could have been focused a little bit more on. The
Yeah.
kid could have been more likable, but like outside of those few nitpicks here and there, pretty solid movie.
Yeah, I mean, we're really good. Like, I mean, like you said, like the only parts I have against it are like, I know you're building like other characters up because I mean you
Mm,
kind of have to. So Deadpool does automatically take a back seat, especially
yeah.
since the first movie was literally all about him.
Mm.
But like it's it's not that that's bad. It's just not all the time they spent that they shared out was like positive. Like I like the scenes with like the export. I like Domino a lot. I like Cable. But yeah, like you sound said, like the kid was not great, and the Juggernaut was a good touch. I just think it was kind of just more of a distraction
Okay.
than like just yeah. I mean, like don't get me wrong, like, I'm glad they had Juggernaut and they actually did a accurate version of Juggernaut,
Hmm.
unstoppable and whatnot. But it was just kind of like all right, like it was just something to keep the other protagonists busy, pretty much,
Yeah.
which is fair. But yeah, just kind of that's what it is.
Mm. So yeah, if you haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet, I highly recommend it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, moving on to other nerd news. So uh, the other day I was scrolling through Twitter and I stumbled across something that just made me sit there and just think, what was George Lucas thinking when he did this? So, you've probably never even considered this before, but you know how in episode 4, Obi-Wan is wearing that robe that more or less was what people of Tatooine wore, right?
Yeah.
And also Yoda in episode 5 wore a robe because he's an old guy. Like really, really old guy. So like that's just kind
Yeah.
of what old people wear, I guess, in like in these type of movies. In episode 1, the entire Jedi Council is wearing very similar robes.
Yes.
Meaning that essentially George Lucas based their entire design off of Obi-Wan's design when he stayed on Tatooine, which I guess isn't the worst idea. Like he is the first Jedi we meet canonically, so I guess it makes
Mhm.
sense to an extent to have the rest of the Jedi at least somewhat
Right.
resemble that. However, you probably shouldn't have made the rest of Tatooine also dress similar to him. What this means is that even though Obi-Wan was supposed to be in hiding for 30, 20,
Mhm.
whatever years, according to this, he has been hiding in plain sight dressed as a Jedi for 20 years.
Yes. That's something that I kind of that kind of a friend pointed that out to me. I think it was like a year ago. And you don't think about it at first. You're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. No, it's not. And then you're like, wait a minute. Oh my, because like it is true. Because like the thing is, like obviously it's like, but everyone on Tatooine's wearing it, that kind of thing. But it's also like, but then again, like the planet is Empire occupied, like as we see in the
Yeah.
movie. So like, I mean, what,
Just this
why?
all could have been fixed if the Jedi had just been more distinct in episode
Yeah,
1. Like, I don't have because they're basically monks, kind of. So like wearing
yeah,
robes makes sense, but have like a different color robe. Have a more, you know, Jedi exclusive robe. Don't
yeah.
base it on a design that was based on another planet's design in order for him to blend in. When
Right.
because that means that all of Tatooine apparently wears designs based on the
Jedi.
Jedi get up. So like
Right.
just nothing about this makes any sense. Like George Lucas had complete control over all of this, and in his infinite wisdom, he decided to create this plot hole because in his mind he was trying to keep it consistent when it made
Right.
perfect sense just to have Obi-Wan in that outfit or in episode 4. It also would have made perfect sense for him to be in a completely different outfit,
Right.
well, as he was actually a Jedi. Just
Right. And they could have always had him change into that later or something. Like these are my old Jedi clothes or
mm-hmm.
something. Because also in the prequels, like no one else on Tatooine like dresses like that.
Yeah.
Like so they just decide after the
Mm-hmm.
prequels to just okay, let's all dress like Jedi used to, right after all the Jedi around the universe have been brutally murdered. I mean, that doesn't like maybe it was a sale for Jedi clothing after all the people that buy it died
Well, why
out.
would
Like,
the Empire sell like allow Jedi clothing to be sold? None of
I,
this. When you try to make sense of this, you just make more plot holes.
okay, at this point, there's grasping at straws, and then there's just like that maybe some of this would possibly make sense in the alternate universe. Like, none of
Like
this, it doesn't make any sense.
it's stuff like this that makes me really question Star Wars fans that still are upset at the fact that George Lucas isn't directing episodes 7, 8, and 9. Like, it's stuff like this, these plot holes that George Lucas creates just so he can seem clever. And add these random crap into the prequels to make the new ones make more sense when really all they do is just make fans angry. Yet these same
Right.
fans forgot all that stuff that happens episode 1, 2, and even kind of 3,
Mm-hmm.
and instantly see the new trilogy as being worse than the prequels, and they want George Lucas back. When for the past 20 years you've been saying George Lucas needs to get off of Star Wars. So like I don't understand any of.
That's what I'm saying. The same people that are like, oh, the prequels, no. Oh, George Lucas, you gotta get out. And now they're like, oh no, we need George Lucas. I'm like, well, which is
Why?
it? Like, you make up your mind here, fandom. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Do we want Lucas? Do we not want Lucas? Do we just not want Star Wars? Like, what do you want from me? What do you want from this? I
uh,
don't understand. But yeah,
I mean,
severe
what?
plot hole.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
and there are multiple plot holes like that
Oh,
in
plenty.
episodes 1, 2, and 3 that just, if it just been a better story, it what you didn't. This isn't possible. Like when you are the creative director of your own trilogy, and then you make a prequel trilogy
Mm-hmm.
to set up this original trilogy, like you would think you would do everything in your power to keep stuff like this from happening. If it was a completely different director or different writers making who had complete creative control of this prequel story, that'd be one thing. But no, George Lucas is the brainchild of all of this. So like,
How
uh,
did you, all people, like, how did you, like, you should have known all this.
you've apparently had this you've apparently had this story concept written ever since the late 70s. Yet how do you have you not refined it at all since then? Have you like how have you looked at this for 30 years and been like, yeah, this is okay? Like, no, it's not. None of it's okay.
Oh my God. Because, I mean, there's a bunch of plot holes that you can point out. So, because it's like, oh, like in the original trilogy, it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, I was trained by Master Yoda. And then, obviously we have Liam Neeson. Like, don't get me wrong, Liam Neeson's great, but like, why isn't Yoda not training? Like, like,
he
why does Qui-Gon exist?
Obi-Wan Yoda was Obi-Wan's master when he was among the younglings. Like
But I mean,
you can tell that to me like as the defense, and like I understand where you're coming from. I've actually had people try to explain it away like that,
mhm.
but that's not what Obi-Wan's ghost meant in episode 5. He called Yoda his master, like my old master Yoda. Like yes, it is a thing for all the Jedi in the prequels to call him Master Yoda because he was a Jedi master. But he was not Obi-Wan's master in the same way he meant in episode 5.
Mhm.
Clearly, and like I get it, George Lucas didn't really have as much creative control over episode 5, and honestly it was better because of that. But still, you it would have been so easy just to do that, but no, you had to bring in a completely different character and have Liam Neeson not act somehow, and just
That's
made the
what
movie worse because of it.
it's just. It's just like, I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that, like, obviously, oh, you either forgot this or that or something. And, like, yeah, we get it. Plot holes. Like, that's fine. But, like, when you're, like, it's one thing when there's a bunch of people working on it and it's like, oh, well, they didn't match up because they didn't have the same idea. But when it's like, this is all your idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is everything on this has your name on it. And you have plot holes that don't match up with your own ideas. I
Yeah,
mean, did he just forget or like
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. Like it's like the whole I saw I do have memories of my mother, but I was super young and barely remember them.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were young. You were literally just born, then she died. So all those
I,
memories were fabricated, I guess. Like I guess you kind of explain it that way, but like that's not what the original source material. That's not what Leia meant in episode 6. Like clearly originally she was supposed to be with Padme for a little while, like maybe even a couple of months to a year or two before she died, and Luke was taken away before then.
Yeah,
That's what
but
was
still,
supposed to happen. It would have been so easy to do that, but they just
that's what I'm
didn't.
saying. You could have written someone back. Like, I mean, Padme didn't even really need to die at all. Like,
She could have given birth before she went to confront Anakin. Like,
or uh, all of that just didn't make any sense.
yeah.
Like, it's annoying because like there's this great universe of Star Wars, but there's a ton of it, and there's a lot of it. Like it's like I
Mhm.
mean like you can literally just Google plot holes in Star Wars, and then just
Yeah.
pages come up.
Like most of it is from
Okay.
the prequel trilogy.
That's what I'm saying. Like let's see here. I just looked at. Let's see what we got.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so okay, like kind of like with Obi-Wan. Okay, so Obi-Wan, so they have the idea, hey, let's hide Luke on, let's hide him on the
Hmm.
planet Darth, that's Anakin's from. Let's hide him on his home planet. Oh, he hates that planet. That's not good. But we're not going to change his name, including Skywalker, like a very, very notable last name. But we're also
Yeah.
going to keep him that, like, family, everything. Like, it should like you shouldn't for Darth Vader, someone who or the Emperor, it shouldn't be that hard to find them. Like,
Hmm. Like, I there's definitely ways around that. Like, uh, maybe it could be explained away as Anakin just completely forgot his past when he became Darth Vader.
but
Maybe,
like,
but also in order to prevent this, how about you just not have Anakin come from Tatooine?
or just yeah. I
It's
mean, you
not
could have made
that
him
hard to just.
like
Uh,
he didn't.
Thematically
Yeah, I mean,
speaking, I guess it's like a parallel because George Lucas loves his mirroring, which is fine. So it makes sense to have Anakin come from Tatooine in that context.
but
But do
you
it
don't
better if
need
you're gonna do that. They didn't. They didn't do
clean it
that.
up. Because I mean, you don't know where any. I mean, you don't know where half the other humans in the galaxy come from. Like, no one knows what. Like, I mean, I know there's like there's like writing and stuff that says like where Obi-Wan's from. So, but like the movies never explain what planet Obi-Wan's from or anything like
Mhm.
that. Like just oh, he's just here. Like, you don't have to explain, oh,
Yeah.
you grew up here and all this stuff. And all, like just be like, oh, you're here just like everybody else.
Hmm.
And then Tatooine happens to be a planet. Like you don't have to I don't know. I'm
Uh,
not whole. It's okay. I mean, obviously I still love Star
oh
Wars,
yeah.
but
And I
it
love to hate
is
the prequels. Like I love to hate Episode 2. It's one of my favorite movies. Just hate. Like every time it
uh,
comes on TV, I sit down and watch that 2.5 hour mess of a movie just
oh
so I can
wow.
hate it, and I love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just there's so much that's just kind of like how did this happen? Like why did this happen? This
Yeah.
could have been so much easier, but
Oh
I
well.
don't know.
Oh
But I
well.
digress.
So moving on to something that's probably better than the prequels, the Bumblebee movie. So yes, this will be the last movie connected to the Michael Bay Transformers movies, and it's also another a prequel. However, the big Transformers cynic that I am, I actually watched this trailer and legitimately got a little bit excited for it.
Hmm.
Like, this is the kind of stuff that I wanted out of the original. The Transformers, being in hiding for a while, and the human characters actually, me caring about them actually caring about the Transformers, it being mutual, it not just being a bunch of explosions and sex jokes and racist jokes and and all this and like a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be in a Transformers movie. And like this is I didn't see a single explosion, maybe a couple of explosions in that entire trailer. But like if you watch any other trailer of any other previous Transformers movie, like half of it is just explosions in action. This
Mhm.
movie is a lot more grounded, and I actually kind of get the sense that you're gonna care about the majority of the stuff happening in this movie, and also points for Starscream actually looking like Starscream in this
Yeah.
movie. Like
Yeah.
they actually, Red. He's the an '80s style fighter jet. Like that's what I want. That's what I wanted from my like one of my favorite Transformers to look like that on the big screen. And we just haven't gotten that yet. So I'm going in with, tempered expectations, but I'm expecting it to be at least better than the previous Transformers movie, which is really all it needs to be. So,
Fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't share your like optimism about. I mean, I don't look. Like I said earlier, for me it kind of looks like Herbie Fully Loaded, just and like
yeah.
it just I don't know. It's something about I don't know. Maybe it's just because like Transformers has burned me a lot with these movies, so maybe I'm just like I'm tired of it, maybe personally. But well, I'll try to keep an open mind. I
Mm,
can't promise it, but
yeah.
I'll try. But we'll see. I mean, because it does look like it's going to be a bit more story based and it's going to explain a lot, which is good. But at the
Mm,
same time, I'm not really. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to
yeah.
see. But who knows?
Um,
Maybe it's a good one.
yeah. Like, honestly, probably the worst thing this movie could do is just be mediocre. Like, I wanted to either end up actually being really bad or actually be pretty good. If if it's if it's just boring, if like nothing really happens, if the action they do have is just kind of there just to be there, that honestly might be worse than it just being bad or being really good. Because I've learned to love to hate the Transformer movie. Like Transformers 2, just like episode 2 of Star Wars, is one of my favorite movies to just watch and hate. Like it's so beautiful in how bad it is. And episode or not episode Transformers 5 The Last Night, that movie, I went in expecting to have a good time, expecting to see a really bad movie, and it was bad, but in all the wrong ways. It wasn't funny bad. It was just kind of boring and uninteresting kind of bad.
Mm,
So yeah, I really hope this movie is at least decent to
yeah.
good, like 6.5 to 7 and up area at least.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. For me personally, it's not doing it for me. But it is still early. Who knows? Like,
Yeah,
it might be the surprise movie of the year. Who knows? Like,
I mean, of I think this movie is coming out around Christmas time, right?
hmm
So
I think so.
if it were between this and Aquaman, which would you rather see? Which we're actually getting the Aquaman trailer at Comic Con apparently this year, so that's something.
Honestly, I'd probably go see Aquaman over this right now, and I'll say that just because I don't know. Like I know you love Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like on Transformers, but after all these movies, I'm Transformers out for a while. I need a
Yeah,
break. So I'll give Aquaman a chance. I'm not saying Aquaman's gonna be any good by any
because it
means.
won't.
I have yet to be burned by an Aquaman
Yeah,
movie.
I mean he
We'll
wasn't
see.
very good in Justice League, but like that was only a
I
small
mean,
taste. So
yeah, aside from Cyborg, like he was probably like my least favorite character, but we'll see.
yeah,
I don't know. Like maybe the other characters in the movie, maybe Atlantis will look awesome. Like who knows? I mean, maybe it'll
yeah,
be great. It
yeah.
won't. We'll see.
Like maybe the trailer they do show at Comic Con actually ends up making the movie look pretty good. That's
Right?
best case scenario, making it look good.
Will it actually be good?
Oh well, that's yet to be seen. Same thing with Bumblebee, of course. Like it probably won't be actually any good, but like I'm at
Yeah.
least going in with an expectation of it being better than the other one. So like I'm hoping to just have a good time watching a more grounded, more closer a movie that's more closer to the source material than the other Transformers movie, which is just
hmm
that's all I want really, which is
Yeah.
looking to be more like that.
Yeah, and I mean, so far it does look that good. Like you mentioned earlier, like the characters actually look like themselves. Because like a lot of the Transformers movies in the past, other than like the obvious like Optimus Prime, Megatron, like the other ones I couldn't just recognize just by looking at
Yeah,
them.
like
I had
even
to like either,
Starscream was just a gray space jet,
yeah,
and he
you
was
know,
surrounded by a bunch of other gray, black, brown, just a bunch of very. There's a word
bland.
for those kinds of colors, but like colors like that. Like every single Decepticon was either gray, dark brown, or black. That was
Right.
it. Like
Yeah.
there was
And I
no
mean,
color, no variation, especially in episode 4 and 5. Like, oh my gosh.
yeah. Like, I mean, it makes sense in a way because I mean, how many like neon red or stuff like military grade like jets and stuff do we
But
really
they don't need to
have?
be military grade. The
Yeah.
Transformers, even the Decepticons in the 80s movies, yes, they were or 80s show, they were either based off of alien technology or they were more or less based on
Right.
cars and other stuff, but they still had
Trans-
vibrant purples and reds and
Yeah.
blues. Like they had color to them. Starscream, who's supposed to be one of the more recognizable, like he's one of your most popular
Hmm.
Transformers, looked like all the others. He didn't even sound
Right.
that distinct. He had the same stupid evil voice that everyone else had. So if you
Mhm.
close your eyes and just heard him and Megatron and Blackout speak, it's all the same. So
It's like
it
I
was.
don't even know which. Do you guys have name tags or something?
Oh, which reminds me, probably one of the stupidest lines in all the Transformers, which is saying a lot, is in I believe Michael Bay or whoever was writing this movie, they realized the fact that that the Decepticons all didn't look distinct from each other. They all looked exactly the same. So when they're landing in the city, um, right before the climax, it's almost like they channeled their inner Pokemon and said their names as they landed. Megatron legitimately said, Megatron, Starscream. Like they said their name as they landed. And I'm like, really?
Why would you do this? Like, who is listening? What are you
Like I
doing?
get it. All these guys look the same, but like they're not idiots. I
I
cannot
mean,
take these guys seriously from here on out because they said their name before fighting. Like,
it's like you
oh,
just show.
bad.
I just don't like rob a bank. I'm Noah. Like what? What? Like you announce yourself before you go wreak havoc. What is that? Just do your thing.
uh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I don't
Hopefully,
know.
Bumblebee has better writing in those movies. Hopefully.
There's hoping.
So, Lego Movie 2 also got a recent trailer, and gotta say that's as much as I really like the first Lego movie. This one's also looking pretty good.
It does look pretty good. I like where it's going here. It's kind of. I mean, I like the first Lego movie. I thought was excellent. I
Oh
think it
yeah.
did a really good job. I mean, it really felt like you were in Lego World. It's like it
Mm-hmm.
really utilized it. Like it's got serious tone. And then all of a sudden, somebody will break into pieces or something, and they're just like, "Oh right, Legos." Like it's not serious, but it still kind of is. So I think they did a great job. That was a bunch of references to
Mm-hmm.
everything. It was really solid.
Oh
So
yeah.
like this one looks like they're gonna. I mean, this is gonna be more. It looks like a building, like pardon the pun, or a building on the main character. I
Mm-hmm.
forget his name. I know what they call him.
Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're building more on him and stuff. He's actually gonna be the special or whatever, I guess again or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like doing something. I gotta save his
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend. So that's big. So like, yeah. I mean, it looks good. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
as far as
Just more of
sequels
the
go,
same, which is really all we wanted.
yeah, basically, it's not, we're not asking for anything different, just kind of a new adventure. Like, okay, how about us to go do this? All right, cool. Make a movie about it. We're on it.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
yeah.
if you went to someone in the 90s or even early 2000s and told them, because that was like the era of crappy brand
Mm-hmm.
movies. If you told them that in 2014 they're gonna make a Lego movie and it will be good, they wouldn't believe you. Like,
It,
because even back in the 90s, people knew these cash in product placement movies. They knew they were bad, yet they made them anyway. Just this time, the Lego movie actually decided to put some effort into it, and it turned out actually pretty good.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's not one of those movies that you're like, okay, this is obviously a commercial. Like,
Mhm.
like it is, but it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
it. You know,
it
the
feels
first
like
one's
a movie
really
first, which is pretty impressive for this type of movie.
really solid movie. You know, it's not, and like it does, like even saying it out loud, even now, like the Lego movie just sounds back, especially with
Mm.
like the
The
emoji
emoji,
movie
yeah.
that came out. Like,
Mm. Mm.
oof, you know, it just kind
Yeah.
of, you know, that's really dangerous. You know, it just has that feeling of this feels like one of those movies that's gonna have like a half a star out of five or something. But
No, it's pretty
it
good.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good movie. It's got a great message, the first one. So like this one
Hmm.
I'm excited for. It's like you guys hit it out of the park. I mean, why
Yeah.
not go for two? Like probably go for three at least. Because I mean,
Hmm.
I know how like, and I like. I mean, the other ones they made, like Lego Batman was a really good movie.
Yeah.
I know
I
they
want
made
more
Lego
anthology Lego movies like that. I have a
right.
Lego
You know,
expanded universe. I wouldn't be mad.
that would be awesome. You know, I mean, Lego anything. I mean, because everything. I mean, imagine a Lego Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Yo,
Please. Please. WB and Disney, please get together on this. Like, I know you don't
that's
like each other, but just try for
like
once, please.
understand.
We
You know,
need this in our life.
like, you know how people grew up playing those games. Like, oh my
Hmm.
goodness, a Lego Star Wars movie would be insane. I mean, that's the trilogy we want to see.
Doesn't even need to be canon. Just have it.
No, no, don't. I mean, that no, don't make it canon. I mean, just make
Yeah.
it a bunch of Star Wars characters running around making jokes about the story,
Hmm.
and you know, pointing out plot holes, but also like, you know, I am your father. I'm also your father. And like different versions of, you know,
Yeah.
Anakin or something. Like, you know, I'm your father too. Like little kid, like you know, they can
Yeah.
just do stuff like that. Don't make it like an actual story. Just make it. I mean, make a story, but like don't make it like a serious Star Wars movie. Just make it a bunch of Star Wars references. 'Cause, I mean,
Hmm.
that's basically Lego Batman is basically just one movie with an hour and some with just you know references to Batman the whole way through.
Yeah.
Just do that with all your heavy hitters.
Hmm. Yeah. Especially if the Lego Movie 2, for some reason that name just sounds off to me. I
It
kind of wish it
does.
was a Lego Movie, like, with the subtitle. Like, I know it's a Lego Movie 2 has some subtitle, but I wish it was just Lego Movie subtitle in order to, I don't know.
I don't know.
Lego Movie 2 just sounds like a mouthful. But
I
anyway,
don't know.
if this movie does really well, I hope they do go all in with Lego Movie stuff.
Yeah, like that'd be like you know just Lego because they know Lego Star Wars is big. Maybe Lego like rings or something. Maybe like
Yeah,
you know
like
just
Lord of the Rings,
all
Lego Jurassic Park, just do it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it'd be huge. I mean, a Lego Avengers maybe like or Lego. I mean
Justice League,
Lego.
Lego Justice
Yeah,
League.
they could build off of Lego Batman. You know,
Hmm.
like oh man, I was gonna say like you have so many because Legos has collaborated with so many things, and over the years, like you can pretty much do whatever. Like there's
Yeah,
the possibilities are almost limitless. If you
yeah,
think
especially
about
with
it.
all the like Lego Harry Potter, like all WB owns a bunch
Well,
of properties. Like, just go for it.
that's what I'm saying, you know, like, and all of those properties have humongous, like, the Harry Potter fandom is
Huge.
ginormous. Like, that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
think I think the Deathly Hallows is one of the most successful books of all time. Like, in
yeah,
recent history, is one of the
mm,
highest selling books. So I would capitalize that now if you can. Like, go for it.
yeah. I mean, Harry Potter has a huge following. All these areas are just gold mines because, and since you're Legos, you can exploit all of it.
Hmm.
I mean, you really can. Like, I mean, go for it, do it.
Yeah.
Like you can make your own Lego universe. Like you could just like forget like the MCU. It's like we have the Lego Cinematic Universe, the LCU. Like
Yeah, WB might actually have a successful cinematic
that's what
universe.
I'm saying. WB like stay in your like that could be your thing. Find something they don't do and then do that
Hmm.
instead of trying to do what they do better than them and failing. Just
Yeah.
do something they don't and do that, and then
Yeah.
both of you guys can be successful.
Hmm. Then you
But
wouldn't have to try so hard to compete with them
I know, and then you
blatantly.
crash and burn very badly when your movie can't even compete with like any of the other like not even their collaboration movies,
Yeah.
just their single play hitters are
Mhm.
knocking you out of the park.
When your Justice League movie does worse than Doctor Strange, you have a problem.
Like Doctor Strange is like the eighth Marvel character I would name off the top of my head. Like maybe, like
Keep
you know,
going. Not even eighth. Like,
I mean, like just in the MC, like not just Marvel character, but like just
yeah,
in the
fair enough. Yeah,
MCU. That's like eight. You know, like
yeah.
come on, man. Like come on, guys. But that was your, I mean, that was your ace in the hole, and you got snuffed out by Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like,
Or like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I know Black Panther and we're going for it, but still, these
yeah,
characters aren't recognizable. Yet
yeah. I
you're the
mean,
freaking Justice League.
that's what I'm saying. Like before the movies came out, nobody knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were. Nobody really knew who Black Panther was before
Mhm.
2016. Like that's what I'm saying. These characters come out, they're just picking out characters from their comics. Oh yeah, he was cool. Boom, $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like you
You
gotta
can't do that with Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, like some of the most recognizable superheroes of all time. You can't even break 700 million. Was
I
wrong.
mean, that's like the DC equivalent of like, you know, Plastic Man getting a big movie. Like, come on, like that's
Yeah.
like, come on, guys. I mean, they're just getting. I mean, you gotta know when to give.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So hopefully the Lego Movie 2 is hopefully that does well. Hopefully it's coming out
I,
next spring, maybe.
I think so. Let me check.
No, the first one came out sometime in 2014 in February.
Right, this
Yeah.
one is scheduled for February next year.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, 5 years later. Not bad. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh,
So
this looks so good.
yeah, we have one more trailer to talk about, and that's the Into the Spider-Verse trailer. Which
Mhm.
the first kind of teaser I saw of this, I wasn't really into the art style, but this trailer really sold me on this movie.
Oh yeah, like it look. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, it's a style you have to adjust to. It kind of has that like almost like looks like it's coming off the screen, but kind of still staying there. It's
Hmm.
kind of that awkward in between animation that kind of you have to adjust to. But I think going into the movie, it'll be fine
Yeah.
because everything kind of stays on that level. And it looks, I mean, it looks really good. I like it. I gotta say, the Peter Parker looks very like I don't want to say relatable, but like you could see that. Like yeah,
Like he's been doing this for a while. Like he's not exactly getting tired, but like the responsibility is getting to him. Like he's a superhero, but he's still broke.
yeah.
Like the Peter Parker side of him is getting kind of tired of it. I can tell.
He has that broke dude look. Like I mean, literally, like he looks like just like the face of just over it. Like that just
Yeah.
looks like he's just like yeah, you know, like broke, no money, looks very like could be homeless, but also oh yeah, I'm Spider Man when I have
Mm,
time. Dude, that's crazy.
yeah.
But but yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. Like I kind of hope that I know this is a technically a Sony production, but I kind of hope that Marvel does more stuff like these. Like big budget animated Marvel movies that aren't necessarily canon, but just expand your brand more. Like I feel there's a market for that. Honestly, DC should do this too. Like these
Yeah.
animated superhero movies are more often than not really good. So why not just try to put them on the big screen so more people can enjoy them? I don't
Right.
understand
Or
why
there
I don't understand why there's this taboo about animated movies being like less quality or whatever, or like less important than live action ones.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's just how society perceives it. But like honestly, like DC's been making better animated movies than real people movies outside of Wonder Woman pretty much the whole time.
I mean, I
So
personally feel that like the Dark Knight Returns and the Suicide Squad movies, I personally feel they're better than Wonder Woman, but like that's just me. But still, the majority of their of like yeah, the majority of their animated movies are better than Batman,
yeah,
Superman, Man of Steel, Justice League, especially like they're bad.
hey, you know, it's just like, dude, like why not do that? Because again, like I said earlier, you know, it's like that's somewhere that Marvel's not really hitting. Like they pretty much at this point have a monopoly on like the live action superhero world right now.
Hmm.
So right now, I think you gotta lay low in that department and attack something they're not. Like I know
Yeah.
animated movies are like, oh, it doesn't like you know. that's not what the world wants to see. Those aren't real. They're for kids just because it's animated. But like you could I mean, if they put good content out there, people are gonna want to see it.
I hate it. I hate it when people try to demean great movies because they're for kids. Like
Mm-hmm.
even something like a Black Panther 2, or like a Black Panther, which it's superhero movie, so it's more or less it's not for kids, but because superheroes are more or less kind of in the mindset of the onlooker, they're
Right.
more or less geared toward kids. People kind of look down upon Black Panther because it's for kids when clearly it's not.
Like no, I mean, like it's like oh, it has superheroes in it. It's a kids movie. I'm like, no, because like I mean, there's a lot of mature elements in a lot of these movies. Like it's yes, it's a it's based off a comic book, and comic books are generally for younger audiences. However, it's done in a way that grown adult audiences can enjoy, and it's made for them. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. I mean, kids can enjoy it too because who doesn't like seeing a guy in a cat suit tackle a rhino with his bare hands?
Yeah.
At the same time, it has serious issues and great character development that
Mm-hmm.
grown people are like, yo, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. It has something for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just wish we lived in a world where something like Into the Spider Verse got the same amount of press and attention that Spider-Man: Homecoming got. Like
Mhm.
that movie was big when it came out. I just feel this
Oh,
Into the Spider Verse movie just kind of gonna come and go. Yeah, it's just gonna come and go, mainly because it's an animated movie. That's honestly kind of
right.
upsetting.
Yeah, and especially with like, don't get me wrong, I think Pixar movies are like, amazing like 95% of the time.
Mm,
But like still, I mean, those movies are getting like Incredibles 2 right now,
yeah,
blowing up. Those things are getting incredible praise right now, but it's like
eh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
like especially the first Incredibles movie. Like it has themes that when you're a kid you just do not understand them. Then when
Right.
you're a teenager, there's still some stuff like you don't quite understand. When you're an adult, you can go rewatch this amazing movie and be like,
It's like,
oh,
oh,
this movie's even better now that I understand it in its entirety.
right.
Whereas still when you're a kid, you can enjoy the action and the humor and whatnot, and it's
Yeah.
still a pretty movie to watch. So like, I, so basically, I really hope the Into the Spider Verse does really well. I hope it's actually a good movie. And from everything we've seen so far, it kind of seems to be going that way.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I mean, and also this is pretty much Miles Morales' like debut on
Hmm.
anything outside of like a TV show or
Yeah.
comics. So like, you want to make a good like. I know it's like a year. You want like he probably might make a pick like show up in the MCU in a couple of years anyway.
Hmm.
But you want to make a good first impression to
Yeah.
like a movie audience.
Yeah. Like, I really hope this movie gets the same kind of attention that Black Panther did, for being the first black superhero, first black
Yeah,
superhero.
Black Panther, yeah.
I really hope those same people go to Into the Spider Verse, not just for that reason, but like at least help it out a little bit because of for that.
I mean,
That
it won't like it's not gonna be on the same level of Black Panther. I mean, it's not
yeah,
gonna,
it's not gonna make $1 billion. That's not
no.
gonna happen. But like,
But I mean, we'll see. The support might be increased because of that, but we'll have to see. It just
yeah,
depends on how they go about it. But
mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, yeah, hopefully he'll get the respect it deserves.
yep. Hopefully, that's coming out what this October,
Absolutely.
which is nice because it's coming out shortly after the Spider-Man video game, and Miles is supposed to be in that. So
Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, I think that's a good, solid transition. That is coming out December 14th, according to this.
December.
December 14th, yeah. So
Okay,
that's a couple months like after the Spider-Man game. So
okay, okay.
after people have had time to play it and
Mm,
stuff.
yeah, maybe
You're
like
like, oh,
get it for like an early Christmas present or something. Yeah.
yeah, something like that,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah. Hopefully the trailers here on out just make the movie look even better. So yeah, that's
I
all the
hope
topics I have for now. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
so. Not really. I think that's every. Yeah, I think that's everything we've covered so far.
Okay. And with that, we will see you next time. Later.
Wait.